Hey there, simulator fans, welcome back to the channel. Virtual Trucker here for another video, and today we're gonna discuss about Truckers of Europe 3 by Wanda software, and we're gonna discuss the following, which is how to make use out of the most of your device running this game's graphics. A lot of you did requested me how to mix and match the graphics, since not all knew how to integrate the graphics to your phone, because we all have different phones being used. So we have 1 GB of RAM up to 12 GB of RAM, and of course the processor being used. So without further ado, let's get on with this video. Let's go to the settings. You have to click the settings and then you go to graphics, which is where we are right now. So apparently I am at the custom because I am mixing and matching also my my graphics for this one. So let's start at the very low, okay? The lowest settings possible. This is integrated to all those have 1 up to 2 GB of RAM. Now remember guys, the game doesn't have traffic yet, so it might change drastically once the traffic AIs are being added. So let's start at the very low. You can go to no limit for the limit for the FPS, and you can see the lowest settings here. So this is for the low budget phones, or probably the older phones which has lower RAM storage, and of course a low or very obsolete processor. So this is the settings for you guys. Just don't try to go up further if you have a very low budget phone, because it will hinder your game performance. Now let's go to the next one, which is low. So other phones could also try the low settings. You can see it here. It's much better. And the resolution though is a bit lacking compared to the higher specs, but this is where you can run or play this game at full specs if you do have a very obsolete phone, or a phone which has a processor that is not updated. So next, let's go to the medium settings. Now the medium one is where mid-range phone comes to enter. So there are mid-range phones which doesn't require much, and of course my phone is already fit for this settings. Now you can take off the post-processing or the bloom effect if you want, and it helps with the FPS or the frames per second. It does, if you turn off the post-processing one. Okay, so yeah. Now let's move on to the high settings. Now you need to remember, high settings requires a very powerful device. Even my Samsung A52 5G struggles to reach 30 FPS. You can see on the upper right corner there, it struggles to reach 30 frames per second in high. And remember, I'm running Snapdragon 765G with 8 gigs of RAM. Now take into consideration, this is now for the mid-range above devices. So from medium up to the ultra settings, which we are going to go right now, which is, this is for the very powerful phones. Some phones just can't handle the pressure on these graphics right here. It does eat RAM, and of course the processor does matter, because if your phone has a bad processor to start, then it will not run at full specs. So these are the difference, guys. So hopefully this video will enlighten those who still doesn't understand how to mix and match their settings. So speaking of mix and match, let's try to use custom, where you can change everything here, from the texture quality, cloud quality, dynamic lights, shadow quality, the resolution, post-processing, and of course the frames per second. You can change everything there. You can lower or you can higher. You can lower the render scale and then set your FPS to 60. So if you remember, or if you could see in the background, it still struggles to reach 30 frames per second. That is because my Samsung A52 5G doesn't have that much power in its processor. But you can see everything, it's smooth. If you try to move the camera, it's smooth. I think the 20 frames per second up to 30 frames per second is, I guess it's okay. But remember guys, the game still doesn't have AIs, and it will change drastically when those AIs are being integrated to the game. So you have to mix and match, you have to lower the resolution and of course the render scale to make the most out of your, device. So once again guys, if you do like this video, please consider giving this video a like. It really helps the channel a lot. Comment down below what you think, and if you're new to the channel, please click that subscribe button for more videos. And as always, this is Virtual Trucker. Keep on trucking, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.